Hello and welcome to Roll to One. You know, we have this technological thing that we've been working on where basically I can now see when the intro finishes, right? So we used to have people point, and now we don't, but like somewhere deep down inside of us, we still point. And so everybody just pointed at me, and it felt off because I knew why, but it also didn't. So, let's just get right to it. I'm Jaden. We're Roll to One, and I'm here with Taylor, my favorite of this group, Ross, Quentin, and Joey. I'm related to one of them, and hopefully two of them soon. So, well, I guess related by marriage because we'll be husband and wife, but that's kind of weird to say out loud. So, hopefully that we're not fumbling over our voices for the rest of the time here. We like to do this where we record so often and we record like back to back to back, but we haven't played in a while. So there's going to be a moment of recap at the beginning of this one. So if you stick around, you're going to hear us all kind of figure out what the heck's going on. And this can sort of be that episode for you if you're like, I don't get it. Now I get it. So join us along for this wild ride as we get ready for tonight's episode of Whispers of Old Harbor. All right, I forgot. So, hello, how are you? I got it. We nailed it. It's weird. I'm running it now, like totally here. Normally, I had a producer. He's in the room. He's like, haha, got you. You have to do it now. No, he's doing other important things.
He still needs to be pointed at, folks. He just is in denial.
Yeah. The party left the pool after covering themselves with slime. You'd killed a giant monster the previous episode, and remember you were surrounded by a bunch of inmates. I don't know what they are at this point. They are patients, right? But you guys headed all to an office after you were covered in this slime to hopefully deter any sort of attack, which worked, but left you at a -1 ongoing. You discovered in this office space that there was an expanded journal, more medical information, of course, being in a sort of hospital-esque place, as well as another pearl. You found one. And then Charlie decided to just use magic to find the office of Dr. Walter Hastings, realized it was at his house, but you watched him as he, for lack of a better word, removed himself from the board. He had all 3 pearls, which are required in order for the monster, this crazy Eldritch entity, to no longer see you, is what they believe now. And should he remove himself with all 3 of those pearls in his possession, he will be relatively safe from prying eyes. So now we are all in this office space. I believe it was Sammy who had just recently seen a large tentacle of some sort of pull a ship into the drink. And you guys didn't really have a chance to discuss anything, but you are all covered in slime like a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and you are in an office, and it is horrifying. What do you do?
Are we going to do that recap?
Yeah, we sort of should, but I would like to do it if possible in character.
Okay. Fair. All right, so did we all see what happened in Charlie's mirror, or was it only Charlie?
Yeah, Charlie would have had it available for whoever was interested.
I'm picturing the Scooby-Doo, like everyone's over each other's shoulders looking into this sort of like mirror. Okay. Like a big silver mirror, and inside is what we saw,
Yep.
This gruesome scene.
Yep. So we're all currently just like, what the heck, about watching Dr. Hastings. So, yeah. Alrighty.
Well, Harry, as someone who's seen a lot of death and a lot of crime scenes, will be like, well, at least we know where 3 more pearls are.
True.
Do we think that...
Microphone.
Well, do we think that they're going to be on his body? I mean, my thinking is he killed himself with the pearls so that he wouldn't be seen. Are this pearls still going to be available now that he's passed on and is unable to be seen? I don't understand anything about them, and so I don't know if we can rely on them being there.
Unless somebody's actually there to report the body, I don't think anyone's going to go actively looking for him.
Oh, I mean, I think they would, are we sure they're not going to magically disappear?
Well, there's really only one way to find out, and fortunately, when his body is reported, I should be able to get in and see if they're still there, and if they are, snatch them up for us to use.
I saw and I'll point at the window.
Yep.
I watched a boat get taken up by a big old tentacle in the water.
So we probably should not take the boat back.
Is there a way to not? Did we talk about that?
No.
Yeah, I think when
I think we did.
Yeah, when I went through the pool,
Yeah.
I explained that it led back to the hospital.
Oh.
So
Yep.
because I said that we had a way back. So
So but now the question is that tentacle something that is just in the harbor, or can it reach into that in-between ocean?
I think that we can. I think we should be able to get back to the hospital
Are we
relatively safely.
closer to the manor? What's the closest relevant location to us at the asylum?
I like it. It's been a while since I've sort of described Harborview as a whole, but if you could imagine with me a sort of crescent moon where its Pac-Man mouth opens like you're reading left to right, right? And it's a C. That's the word I should have said. But in sort of the middle of that, like a yin-yang, you sort of see your island that you're now on, where the asylum is. There's a dock out the front, and then a lot of docks as you sort of go in that way. A lot of ships move around, and then as you go to the northernmost point of this sea, there's a lighthouse at the end, sort of this peninsula, and that is the space. But everything sort of westward of the edge of the shoreline is all city. It's being developed into. It was once a town, and the town being large in this case is now moving on its way towards being a city.
So it's about equidistant
And
from the island.
From everywhere,
Yeah.
you're kind of in the middle.
Is the manor on the coast, on the inside of the sea coast?
Yeah, you can sort of, you look out the window, we'll say, and you can actually sort of see it. You can see from here, it's dark, but when the lighthouse sort of curves around, you can catch it. The top of its roof sort of gets hit by the light of the lighthouse.
I mean, I can't think of another way that we get that faster. I mean, we're going.
It's also like midnight Tuesday, not midnight, but it's about to be Wednesday, and you guys all have day jobs.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Depends on how you feel about the end of the world.
I think that we all need to.
Sleep.
Yeah, we need sleep. I think we need to go back to our houses. I will get up early, kind of see what's going on with good old Hastings, see if anyone's reported. If so, I will head to the crime scene, kind of see what's happening. You're gonna preach about getting sleep and then not getting sleep? I said I'm gonna sleep. I said I'm just gonna get up early.
So he's going to do his job in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, here's what we're going to do. Everybody, I'm assuming you're going to go down through the hospital and sort of work your way out and then do all that. Now,
Yep.
I'm going to say that happens. You guys are all going to be totally fine. No big deal. You're covered in slime. You took your penalties. It all worked out. You go out in towards this hospital, but on the way, it leaves you guys enough room to have a discussion of what's going on, how do we feel, what have we learned, and we'll go ahead and do that as if you're walking and talking. So if there are details you want to leave out, please don't necessarily worry about it.
Yeah.
Just talk about it like everything is on the table so that everyone can learn, especially the audience and myself, be reminded of everything that you know.
Yep.
And then I will fill in the blanks as necessary. Keep in mind, should you want to know anything in the midst of this, Catherine, because Taylor's still fairly new to the role-playing scene, I'm giving her all 3 of her connect the dots questions. However, in the midst of this conversation, everything we discuss, if she does not ask all 3 of those questions in the midst of this conversation we're having, she will lose them all, and I will make her roll again at the top of this episode. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you don't, you have a chance to get them all back should you roll again, but if you don't spend them now, you use them or lose them. So
Cool.
What do we know? Let's go ahead and start at the top. We had a meeting that was not a meeting, an invitation to this party, this gala, put on by who?
Sinclair.
No.
No.
Nope.
Waterford.
Yes.
Waterford invited who?
He invited
Elwood?
Ruth Elwood,
Yep.
and Ruth brought Catherine.
Yep.
Correct.
invited the chief of police, Firestone, who I am connected with.
Yeah.
Firestone is not the is the chief? I don't think he's the chief of police.
I've never made the Firestone joke, and his name is Firestone, or have I made the Firestone?
Give me one
We've all
second.
made the Firestone joke, I think.
I do have the
that's-
guest list if you need me to.
I
This
have
is
it
good.
too. I just have to.
The Waterford whodunit, right?
We had the mayor, Peter Summers, who was killed. His son, Arthur.
Yep.
Dr. Walter
Yeah, Elias
Hastings.
Firestone was his name.
Chief Strongwell.
Strongwell.
Yeah.
Chief Strongwell.
Strong, yes.
Chief Calvin Strongwell. You had Walter Hastings was there.
Sinclair was invited but did not attend.
Did not attend.
But
Copperfield
sent
did.
Marcella Copperfield.
Marcella, his assistant.
Yep.
Who
Who does not like him at all. We
No.
have found out.
She's a redhead. As well. He is as well.
Yep.
Sinclair. So then we had those were the movers and shakers, right? Those
Yep.
were the people that moved. But keep in mind there was also,
we also invited the Van Pelts were invited.
they
Yes.
showed up,
Yes.
right? Van Pelt's Julian and his 2 daughters.
Yep.
And that was pretty much every mover and shaker.
Elias Firestone is the guy who's just really interested in maintaining the Harborview Manor.
He is actually he's also the town administrator. He
Administrator.
manages the treasury and police staffing.
Okay.
All right, yeah. I'm
So he's actually the reason that Harry is here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He's sort of a celebrity
Yep.
in a way.
So the
party happened
Yep.
Party happened.
And there was a
Julian
murder.
was accused of murdering
and tried to attack me with a knife.
the mayor who did die,
Yeah.
Arthur's father. And he attacked you with a knife, a strange knife.
And when I was investigating the scene, there was a little snow globe with what we now know
Our pearls.
is a pearl
And
in that.
3 pearls equals, in this case, I sort of explained it already, so you guys understand.
Yep.
And we currently have 4. Catherine has 3 in a vial, and we also know that each of those pearls is an egg to a creature of the many mouths.
Yep.
Yes, it creates a mini mouth.
And they keep you unseen from.
Zurak.
The all-knowing.
We all say the name in our brains and telepathically communicate that name and not say it out loud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He who should not be named, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Voldemort?
What?
I mean, we don't know if this thing has a nose, so it could very well be. No.
So
yeah.
then after that, we went.
You guys went your separate ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you sort
Yeah.
of
We all
were.
went to our
You guys were all
lanterns.
invited through strange means to go to the Three Lanterns bookstore.
Yes.
Correct.
The Three Lanterns bookstore being a occultist bookstore at various locations around town. All
And
of course
time.
In different times.
Yes, in different times. All sorts converging on this strange Thaddeus Morose. This strange we now know as as sort of a beyond time and space entity, sort of being able to communicate with all of you at once. We'll call him child, being
No, he is the child.
He is the
He is
child.
the child. Thaddeus is the
Admir.
child.
Father.
His father is whoever that is, right?
The
And Thaddeus is the guy who exists across all time. Now he has a connection and familial relationship with the Elwoods,
Yep.
recognizing the birth of Catherine, and there's something that we have yet to explore there, so we'll not give any more away. But then,
and that he's friends with her grandfather in some way, shape,
yes,
or form.
that
We're
was
not sure
what I mean.
Yeah.
Right? Yep, brother to friend, not friend, but like best friends, right?
Yeah.
And then of course Ruth had her own sort of opinions on all the stuff that's going on, and we've learned that she is aware of the monsterness that's going on.
Yes.
You were visited by Sinclair. Maybe I'm skipping something. Oh no, you guys went to
Sinclair had sent us letters at different points as well.
I don't believe he
No,
sent
it
you
wasn't.
that.
It wasn't Sinclair that sent
He
There
it.
was-
sent
that
you
was
a
the
letter
letters- the letters
that said,
was-
stop writing.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, I got one.
But that was from Waterford.
Oh, Waterford. Yeah.
But basically, we discovered through a mystery that the fishermen are going missing. That they were turning into these monsters, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And after our meeting at the bookstore, we all met at the ranger place, the nature
Yep.
reserve.
Yes.
Yep.
And then met the dog.
And had
And
our
went
first
out
encounter with the
Lowry.
mini mouths.
With the mini mouth. Yep.
Went to the mini mouth in the north.
And then you
Found a foot.
found a foot, which turned out to be
Lilith.
Lilith's foot,
Yep.
who was taken by Marcella for some unknown reason.
Yep, they're at the greengrocer, and so we checked out the greengrocer.
And the greengrocer turned out to be a speakeasy that had been under the control of actually the chief of police, who was keeping it a secret from another organization known as the Lizards, and they had shown up and killed everybody. And they don't necessarily seem to be connected, but they do seem to be involved somehow. You all went eventually then to, I think you guys went to, the next place was like, I don't know, you guys just fumbled around for a while. But eventually went to the hospital. And discovered...
Found Lilith there.
Lilith is...
We went to the fishery.
Yeah, you did go to the... That's what happened. There it is.
Yeah.
That was very important.
Yeah.
Went to the fishery, and you can see how long this game has been for us.
And we eventually found one.
I did. Lantern.
You lit a lantern, which turned out to be this strange temple that actually like emitted light when ignited by the reflection of this lighthouse. Right.
And that's the first time that we experienced the alternate dimension.
This strange alternate dimension. Then you went to the hospital, which is where you met with Lilith, who had turned out to be injured. And she gave you like a long story short that was basically she got away.
Yep.
Not knowing why she was targeted. And then Dr. Walter Hastings proved to be very involved in this thing, using surgeries and masking a lot of this stuff. Especially using the asylum to get a hold of these pearls. For some reason, they're all interested in having these pearls.
We found out where they dumped the bodies and found that hole.
That the mini-mouths devour them and create a human flesh paste that makes everybody compliant.
Yes, it makes people compliant. It all seemed to be connected in some fashion to their sort of schemes. But now the schemes are also related to potentially people well-connected, maybe not.
Well, and we also learned through conversations with Catherine and from what is the secretary's name? Sinclair's secretary?
Marcella.
From Marcella, that Sinclair has a very heavy interest in locations that seem to be connected with the lanterns.
Yes, he's been trying to buy them up.
Yeah.
But of course, Ruth did not allow that. Now, we've also learned that Catherine inherited the Elwood estate and all of its businesses, and therefore Ruth was sort of living this ruse to kind of maintain her wealth, but realized that she soon could not. Catherine was faced with a choice to kick Ruth out of wealth and to never give her a cent more, or lose it all, as Sinclair is going to attempt to form a buyout and kick you out of the business. Which he is extremely wealthy, and he's the reason that the town is developing as it is. Now you guys all went to the asylum. And discovered at the asylum, of course, more of this madness.
Defeated a sphere monster.
Defeated this monster that is sort of creating more monsters. You discover there's some sort of zombiness that comes with the tentacle. Long story short, you've discovered some pearls. You have a bit more knowledge as far as medically, but there are lots of mysteries that need to be resolved before the end of the world, which is believed to be on Saturday. Except for Sinclair has something going on Saturday. Could it be lined up? Could it not? Sinclair returns Thursday after a business trip, and that's when the buyout will begin, and he's excited to have a conversation with Catherine. It is about to be Wednesday. You all reach your homes at the end of the night. In the morning now. I'm going to fast forward us to the morning. Now, obviously, I just bulldozed through your conversations, but I'm going to go ahead and ask all three of your questions if you'd like to right now. Yep, go ahead.
How does this mystery connect to the bigger picture?
Mystery being what? Go ahead and just let's pretend that you were at some point during that conversation like that. That's what I want to ask about.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we thinking?
Yeah, that's a good, because tell them the questions you can ask.
Yeah, here's my questions. That one, and then is this connected to two previous mysteries we have investigated? Mm-hmm. What does the monster want from this person? When and where will the next critical event occur? And is this person connected to current events more than they're saying?
Okay, so
the when and where seems pertinent because then we could potentially find a lantern location.
I do feel like, I mean, we get 3, but I feel like we know the one place we haven't checked is going to give us a lot of information.
Yeah.
Well, we know that there's going to be stuff at the manor.
Yep.
Because we haven't gone there yet. It might be interesting to know how Hastings was connected, why he decided to kill himself, why the monster was so interested in him, and why he finally got the 3
why he worked so hard to get the 3 pearls and then kill
to
himself.
die.
Before
Yeah.
you read that question about how are they involved more? What was that? What's the word?
How does this mystery connect to the bigger picture?
No, the one about the person.
Is this person connected to current events more than they are saying?
Sinclair.
That's
I
kind of
feel
what I'm feeling like. How
Yeah.
can we get from that question how much Sinclair is involved?
Like,
Is kind of what I'm thinking.
I'm not sure if, based on the previous mystery with the asylum, I'm not sure if we can get Sinclair involved with that.
But like, well, that's the question is. We're gonna find out. Is he
Okay.
right? Because all we
Okay,
know that
fair.
Sinclair is involved. I mean, we kind of just talked about it, but like Sinclair is involved
With a lot.
just because he wants the Elwood's money, but then he just wants to be involved in things. But what's his relationship like with Waterford, and like how is he like? Is
Connected
he
to the monsters?
is
or?
he the full? Is he the architect behind the whole thing? Is it a multi-headed thing? Like I think
Right,
that
okay.
might not be a bad question there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Okay.
have to ask it. But, and then when and where feels like we could obviously clarify.
Mm-hmm.
We were also interested in possibly. I remember I had a conversation with Quentin, but Charlie was interested in knowing where Van Pelt was.
yeah. Just where Julian was. Because we know for a fact that Julian contributed to that journal. He was the one that wrote the information about the different types of poisons. He's familiar with the pearls, but we haven't seen him actively
Since the
Right.
first day.
pursuing anything. Yeah, we haven't
Right.
seen him at all since the very first day.
We know for at least a little bit he was at the asylum because of
What's his name?
his name.
Ray.
Ray.
Yes,
thank
Ray.
you. I was going to
Ray,
say
who was at
Roy.
the fishery, who went mad.
Yes.
Yes, due to our actions. Sorry, Ray.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
Okay, so I feel like
happens.
the first question, since we have 3, first question, ask about Sinclair.
Is this person connected to current events more than what they're saying?
Is Sinclair connected to current events more than what he is saying? All right, so because it's Catherine, because Catherine's the one with this, I have to do it from Catherine's perspective. So Catherine, you begin to think, and you realize that tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow is the day that you need to basically make your decision before Thursday. He arrives Thursday morning. And so you're sort of figuring out in your mind, you're sort of talking it out with everybody, and you're like, man, is Julian Felt, not Julian, pardon me, is Sinclair more involved? And you're asking, man, why does he want to buy the fishery? You know, you've sort of lit the lantern. Why does he want to buy the fishery? Right? And you're beginning to understand that maybe I keep saying Julian, maybe Harrison, maybe Sinclair is involved in a sense, but maybe just maybe, he doesn't want to happen what is happening. Maybe he's involved, but not involved. Does that make sense?
He is involved, but not necessarily for malicious purposes.
He may not necessarily be the world's antagonist as much as he is your antagonist.
Okay. Interesting.
Like maybe he doesn't know the.
Maybe he does know what's going on, but maybe he doesn't want it to happen.
So like he's on our side of the argument, but he's coming at it from a different angle than we are.
Okay.
Or an opposite angle,
Yeah.
right? Like I think because we're so anti those things, he wants to develop, he wants to get rid of some of those things. If he wants to control the fishery, because he knows, like, what if he knows where the lanterns are, and so the places that he's going for are places that he can protect, and stop the things from happening, rather than like, you know, I have been at least going at it like, oh, he wants to own these things so he can prevent anybody from stopping it.
But maybe he's trying to stop it, but on his own terms. Like he's basically.
He's going the more buy everything up so that he can control everything instead of trying to sneak in.
That feels like
almost like somebody who goes and buys a city block that's not developed, so that way somebody else can't develop it. I'm going to buy this area so that way nobody can cause these things to happen.
What does he get from the deal with you on Thursday? Should he buy out? What does he get? Do you know?
Yeah, hang on.
I mean, he gets the fishery, which gives him access to the first lantern.
Yeah. The deal is either I keep it and I don't give any money to Grandma, or, he'll pay off the debt. Huh?
He'll forgive the debt.
He'll forgive the debt if I
Yeah.
don't give her money, basically.
Yeah.
Or it's a 60-40 deal. I get 40, he gets 60% of it.
Which means he would have
Control.
controlling shares,
Yeah.
meaning
Yeah.
he would be in charge and you would just benefit from monetary,
Correct.
what you produce.
Basically, I just own the estate, not the fishery.
Yeah.
Whatever. Basically, I don't know. You can ask a few more questions. I'm not going to give it to you, but I will say that he's extremely interested in making sure that Ruth specifically does not have control.
That's what I was
Just
gonna
trying to
say.
make sure you are aware of that.
You think I think there's something there.
It's likely more that than anything else.
Well, and we
So-
know that she's familiar with getting poisons from Thaddeus, so
She's familiar with that. She also might be familiar with pearls. She might be familiar.
And
You don't know.
Her husband.
Was friends with Thaddeus.
Just an interesting thing to think about. Now, also,
What was the first question you were wanting to ask? Is what is the
when and where, right?
Yeah.
your first question that you were wanting to ask?
I was going to ask, how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture?
How does the
In
asylum connect to the
which-
bigger picture? Or
Yeah,
how does
which
what?
mystery specifically?
I was thinking more towards Hastings and the asylum. Why is that connected? Like, why, if there's not a lantern here, why is this important? Besides the portal or the
Yeah.
monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
It's not a bad question.
yeah, that's a really good idea because it's like, what benefit is this compliance goo? What benefit is
Do we-
Hastings getting these pearls just to kill
Yeah.
himself and
Do
all
we-
these things? Yeah.
Do we know? Before we ask the question, let's see if we can find that answer in our brains. And if we can't, we can't. We ask
Right.
it, right? But like, so these people that have stomach problems. Do we remember what the cause of those original problems were before they put the pearls in?
I thought that
the
they were
stomach
all.
problem
The-
was the pearl.
The pearl.
Yeah. The stomach.
I'm trying to remember. I
Feeding
feel like,
the goo creates the pearl.
Yes.
but
them
I feel like they were.
eating.
I feel like they were doing surgery on people.
To get out.
To get
Get
it
the
out.
pearl
They were
out.
choking.
They were choking or having stomach issues, and they were doing surgery on them to remove
And that
the
came
pearl.
from eating the goo.
Came from eating the goo.
That's where that connection was not there in my brain. Great, glad
Yep.
we got there.
Okay,
It's like an
so
incubator,
so
but as a
So
person.
that
so
that
the-
all is a circular. That's a circuit. The hospital relates to the pearls, which relate. Everything goes in that
Yes.
circle.
yeah, so
I think that's a great question because I can't imagine where the
Where the asylum
where the
lays.
asylum
Yeah.
fits in. Do you guys have any?
So that's basically just like a feeding center / birthing center for whatever monster this is. that's
For them
or
to-
pearl
currently-
harvesting.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
pearls.
It's like a factory.
They're doing
Or
it
to
at the,
feed
they were
the
doing that
monster.
at the
both.
hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
So
that-
why need the asylum?
Exactly.
Right,
That's what we're
that's-
trying to figure out.
I
Yeah.
think you can ask it to them.
Yes.
Okay. So how does this mystery connect to the bigger picture?
How does this mystery connect to the bigger picture? People are going to find stuff out. People are going to figure things out. People are going to know things. People are going to eventually come into contact with stuff that they weren't supposed to see. I mean, just in the same sense that you can accidentally walk into the girl's bathroom and be like, yeah, that's the girl's bathroom. In the same sense that someone can walk in and see something they shouldn't. Right? And so where do you put people that see things that they should not? Well, you put them in the loony bin because it doesn't matter what they say. You know, maybe they're not going to be compliant with you. Maybe they're not eating the things you're eating. Maybe they're not going to wanting to join in. So what do? You just take those people and you shove them away, right? In the same way that you institutionalize somebody who's a villain. All right. So you are figuring out this information. You figure out that the asylum is definitely a place where you put those people. But if those people have been going to Dr. Hastings' office, again, what's the point of the asylum, right? The asylum is, well, Ray is here. Right? Ray is here, right? You've seen other things. Maybe you just haven't explored the asylum, to its fullest to determine where people have gone. Did you look for Julian? Did we figure out where Julian might have been? Was he taken here beforehand? Did you not go fast enough? Did you, what happened? But I will say that the asylum connects in the sense that it is where you've been putting those people who have seen too much. It's that. It's also a place where more people can go, but I will say that those people who have seen too much are beginning to worship this entity, and it's creating sort of a cultish style island, and you're sort of getting that. So, it's illustrating multiple things. You've learned that these people who are going mad are ending up worshiping this thing. People who have had long-term exposure to this monster, aside from maybe yourselves, are beginning to, get on their knees and hold their hands up and chant. Right? There's your lesson. There's your illustration. Is that maybe some people who have been involved since the beginning are on similar footing, just maybe a little bit more in control of that.
All right.
And then what are your other questions again?
Where will the
We're gonna do
When and where
yeah?
will the next critical event occur?
Mm-hmm.
What does the monster want from this person?
Is there a critical event that's not the celebration on Friday that we care to find out happens before or Saturday?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like,
it's not Saturday.
is there something that happens before Saturday that we are worried that we want to maybe ask about? Because if that answer is not Saturday, then of course we have our next heading. That's maybe not the manor.
Yeah, not the man.
If it is Saturday, and it's where too, right?
When and where?
With
it
your
is-
with your guys' discussions with Copperfield, was there anything mentioned other than Saturday that was like a big event happening?
No,
Not that I recall.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
And we keep like not addressing Waterford either after the party. Like we have not talked to him or acknowledged him at all, and we know for a fact he has a pearl, so we know that he's involved in this.
How do we know he
somehow.
has Pearl?
It was in his office.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think when and where is a good question.
Yeah.
Because
We don't even know where the next lantern is. Probably, maybe the manor, but where's the third? It's not here.
I think we'll be able to. Well, we don't know.
Yeah,
it's
we
not.
need two more.
Right.
It's not like we're in the boat of one more. We need two. And I
So,
think like our.
What are the locations that we know? We know Harborview Fisheries Co. Great.
That's
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
We know Harborview Manor.
Yes.
We know the asylum.
Yes.
Yeah.
We know the hospital.
Yes.
What other locations do we have?
Well, we have.
Nature reserve.
Yeah, we have the nature reserve. we
All
have
4 3 lanterns.
all 4 3 lanterns. We have
Green.
The
grocer.
lighthouse.
the Elwood Estate. We don't know if we don't necessarily know that's important.
Elwood Estate.
for-
Green grocer. Lighthouse.
We know Waterford's house.
The little cafe that we've been to a couple times. I don't.
We know the multiple Three Lanterns locations.
Police stations.
Police station.
Yeah, the police station,
newspaper,
which
hospital.
there's something
Yeah,
about that we
yeah.
haven't figured out yet.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
at the police station there is a janitor there who is very evasive with answers,
That's true.
and I will probably try and chat with him when I'm there.
I wrote down as many of the locations as I could at one point, like when he was describing the town, but I can't find it anywhere.
Keep in mind, every single NPC has a house.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
You can always go to so and so's house, right? Elias's house.
Strongwell's house.
The Van Pelt's
Firestone's.
house.
So I
Yeah.
still think we should ask when and where
Yep.
then.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's,
When and where will the next critical event occur?
Tomorrow afternoon, Somer house. Somer's house.
all right.
For some reason, you're thinking about the players that have sway that you have not visited.
So remember also with that information, Van Pelt's daughters, and now the bachelor, heir to the mayor's.
That's
Arthur.
true. And also, there's been no mention of a funeral for Somers either, so that could be something that's happening tomorrow as well.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right.
The wake.
Yeah.
All right. So that. All right.
All right, so happy Wednesday, everybody. We're going to a funeral.
All right, so the next day, I like to do this. I like to tell me what you do with your day, your job, and then what we will do with that is we will roll a 2d6 plus something, and that will determine the success or failure of your attempted task throughout the day, because of course you cannot solve a mystery during the day. This is in fact still Monster of the Week. The beginning ends with sunset, as we always have a moonlit adventure.
Whoa.
But during the day, What do you do?
I would like to go to the Waterford estate
Okay.
to have a conversation with Gerald about maple syrup.
I see. All right, let's go ahead. And maple syrup being, of course, the 1920s equivalent of illegal substances, which in this case is just regular old alcohol.
Hooch, whiskey,
You
moonshine.
cannot sell that. Nope, you can't. You
I think
can't.
it's
illegal.
rum.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rum.
it
You're,
is.
you're a rum. Your family is a rum dealer.
Rum runners.
Rum
Yeah.
runners. There it is.
You
So
invented NASCAR.
So you argue to me which role is going to be, and then we're going to learn some things. So you decide. You gonna manipulate someone, and you gonna
No, I don't know if I want to manipulate. That's
you gonna
negative.
you gonna
Charm.
Yeah.
But basically, pick one of your, not necessarily a skill, right? Just pick one of your stats. Tell me what it is you do with it, and then I'll make you roll it.
I'd like to act under pressure.
All right. So he's gonna roll plus cool today, and then you're going to roll plus cool, and then that's going to determine the success or failure of this event.
I use
Here we go.
11.
11's not bad. Still a 10. You do what you set out to do, right? So you set out to have a conversation with Gerald Waterford. Remember, Gerald, what's up?
The -1 ongoing. It was that.
That is your guys have taken a
After
shower.
you shower.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Okay.
taking a shower.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just making sure you
You're
said
good.
11, 10.
No,
I'm just
that was
making-
to make. That was truly. I'll tell you right now. Haha! You didn't discover everything in that office
Yeah. No,
because
fair.
of your -1 ongoing and Quentin's terrible rule.
Yep.
Fair. Okay.
Is
making
what
sure.
is what it is. But I'm glad you asked. So, you have a conversation with Gerald Waterford. Remember, he's got a bit of a British accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bit of an older guy. He's got a little bit of class to him, but it's something about that is kind of giving you a little bit of a about him. So he does not meet you at the door, of course. It is one of his attendants, a lovely young woman who is not dressed in like a maid's outfit, but she's well dressed. And she greets you at the door and says, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Yeah, I need to talk to Mr. Waterford. It's on business. Tell him the Cardianos wish to do some business.
Is this an expected visit?
It is not unexpected, but it's not a scheduled visit.
Sure, it's unexpected. She closed the door. And then you wait about probably 2 minutes, which is still a long time.
It's not as long as I was anticipating.
You wait about 2 minutes. She comes to the door, and then she says, "Yes, he will see you." And she opens the door, and then she sort of walks in front of you. You would have normally checked her out, but because of the because of the trauma that you sort of experienced, you don't even pay attention to it, and you're only interested in talking to Waterford. So you go to the familiar hallway down at the end, turn to the right, and you are at a door. She knocks again and opens the door, and it is the familiar office that the once Mayor Somers had sat in before his demise. And there is Mr. Waterford, who stands, welcomes you in, pulls his button together of his suit, and sort of shakes your hand and says, "Hello, I'm glad to have you here. What are you interested in doing today?"
Well, we had a conversation at the party last weekend, I believe, that was gonna lead to some that I felt might lead to some business, and so I just wanted to follow up with that conversation. And I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't speak to one of the more powerful men in town.
Oh, yes. And he gestures forward to the seat and says, "The upholstery is new," and sits down at the opposite end of the desk.
Respectfully, I think I'll stand if you don't mind. Not only because
I understand many business tactics, one of them standing. I understand.
I just don't want to
I've been around a
say
long
that.
time. And he sits down and he sort of leans back and he says, "Well, if we're going to be unofficial about it," and he kicks his feet up and you see he's got his legs crossed on the desk. You sort of see as he sort of pushes to the side, his cane falls. It almost startles you, given all the stuff you've experienced. And he puts his feet down, he grabs it, and sort of forgets to put his feet back up. So he turns towards you and says, "So business. Your family are rum runners, yes?"
Ooh, straight to the point. It depends on who you ask. We like to sell maple syrup from the Accardiano family. And I'll nod and say that out loud while answering his question, visually and vocally differently.
No one is here but you and I make the attendants stand down the hall. Do you see the bell on the wall? And there's like a little space for him to ring if he needs their needs their attention.
Yes, you are correct, sir. Rum run as it is.
So, my cruise, my spacious mansion allows me to oversee my ships from my upstairs window. Occasionally, I will shout at them. They don't mind. However, we've been discreetly moving most of the goods through the cellar. So, follow me. And he sort of gets up.
Yes, give me a moment. I'm a little under the weather lately. I'll follow you shortly. And I kind of hunch over a little bit, injured, and I'm just kind of trying to
Oh, did you have any injuries?
I mean, yeah.
Well, then yeah, you heal overnight. I believe you get you heal 1 when you rest.
Mm-hmm. Then I will actually I will ask him, do you have another one of those canes that I could borrow for the day? I've been banged up.
He goes over towards the wall and like sort of pulls one out.
When he turns away.
Okay.
I just kind of want to see what's on his desk, and a little more of accusatory, maybe looking for something suspicious.
Or pearl.
Well, I don't think that's unless there's a snow globe on his desk.
I'm telling you right now, your roll that you made is still in effect.
Yeah.
Everything is going perfectly smoothly according to plan.
Yeah.
Should you do this, you could jeopardize that.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll to act under pressure.
10.
Okay. Scenario continues.
Nice.
So you're looking around. You sort of see on his desk, he's looking around, and there's a sort of a copy, sort of a rolled print copy of a blueprint of the manor. And you catch a really quick glimpse of it, and see he's talking about a cellar. There's a similar cellar at the manor.
At the
Like a large hidden cellar at the Harborview Manor.
Cool.
That's what you got.
And no snow globe on the desk.
No snow globe on the desk.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, so you take the cane from him, and you both old decrepit people walk down the hall.
Just injured.
This continues. Let's see what else other people are doing.
Harry is going to pretty much he's gonna go to his job and kind of keep an ear out to see if anything is reported about Hastings' suicide.
Yep.
And
I'll tell you right now. You come into the office, and there is a pissed off Mrs. Hastings.
Ooh.
In the main kind of foyer, you see other officers sitting down at their sort of half cubicle desks.
Right.
Their telephones, their and all these sort of things. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and they're like, ma'am, just hold on. He's almost here. He had a late night last night. He'll be in here shortly. The detective will take your case, I assure you. And she just goes, I will not stand for this. This is awful. He could not have done this. He is not that person. He would never. It must have been Julian, that stupid Julian. And then she turns and goes, there he is. And then he goes, ma'am, if you go over there, I will have to detain you. And she says, and she crosses her arms and just waits for you at the end of the hall. Your office is immediately to the left. You do not have to engage with her, but just know you're presented with go straight, talk to her, or go left into your office.
Harry is gonna. I mean, that is what he was hoping to kind of do today. So he's gonna go and talk to her.
Okay, so you greet her at the end of this hall into this large space where all of the officers are working, and the officer who was dealing with her just sort of and sits down as you arrive and relieve him of this horrible post now. And there she said, I'm told that you need to see the scene of the crime.
Oh, possibly, ma'am. For one thing, I'm Harry Henderson. Can I get your name, please?
Yes. I'm
yeah.
I'm Mrs. Hastings.
Yeah, that's all. Pretty much, I don't want her to think that I already know that there is a crime scene.
I see.
That's why
Okay,
I'm just trying
okay.
to diffuse the situation, kind of see what's going on.
Yeah,
that's my goal.
You're good at this. Here's what we're gonna do. How would you like to proceed? Is the goal for this day of work to be to learn something, to keep her from exploding and causing a scene in the whole town, or to let her and see who pops out of the woodwork?
Well, the goal would be to learn something, and if I'm not trying to diffuse her, then obviously it sounds like
I think
she
the
will.
goal is to learn something. So
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to roll plus sharp
Roll
and
plus
determine
sharp.
how this day goes for you.
Okay. I got 2 new dice recently at the Indie Comic-Con.
Nice.
So, first rolls with this. Hopefully they go well.
You didn't roll ahead of time?
Well, I mean, okay.
How dare you not break
No,
them in?
No. I mean, I have rolled, but this
My
is my
wing
first,
tips.
official roll. First official roll.
Do it.
You said plus sharp. That is going to be an 8.
An 8. Okay.
Not bad.
All right. Here we go. Eventually, I'll give you that hard choice. Here it comes.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Yeah,
but,
of
but
course.
Just down the road.
Yep.
So you're sort of directed. You guys hop in a car. You know, it all goes, and you drive down and get to the front of this location, and it is a sizable house. It's not like a manor, but it's nice. Doctors make a good living, and you're directed towards the front, and then eventually she turns right, goes around the house, and you're brought in through the back door.
Okay.
And the back door is broken.
Okay.
Something has happened to the back door.
From my observation, do I see that it's broken in from the inside or the outside?
Outside.
Okay, so outside in.
Pardon me. No, it has been broken from the inside out.
Oh.
Inside
So
out.
the
something
glass
was
is
escaping.
this way.
Okay.
Glass is
Not-
out in the yard, not inside the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Gotcha.
and so that's the first scene, and she says, "This,"
Okay.
and then she leads you into the house.
Okay.
Remember, we're still rolling. This is just
Right.
our 8. We're just
Right.
here. We are.
Right.
And you are led into the house, and she takes you upstairs towards this office room.
As we're walking up, do I see other disturbances in the house?
No, you see basically he's got a lot of doctor stuff down here. You see he's got a bed space for all that stuff. It's well made, well maintained. But it's basically if he needs an immediate patient right here, he can do that.
Right.
And it's right there. And then the living space is sort of in opposite end. So you're not seeing where the back door was. You're not seeing any of that. It's all closed off.
Okay.
So unless you stop and go that way, no.
Okay.
You're just brought basically doctor space right there, stairs that go up.
Uh-huh.
That's what you're greeted with. You go up towards the top of the stairs, you move to the right, and then you're at an office room. This office room is totally fine. She sort of takes a key ring, sort of gets the key,
Right.
opens it, pushes it open, and there is a bunch of markers and a cloth laid over a body. And
Are there other police there, or is it just me here at the moment? Police-wise.
just you here right now.
Okay,
Seems
gotcha.
that most of their stuff was last night. And
Okay.
why protect a deceased body?
Gotcha. Okay. Mrs. Hastings, I'm going to have to ask you to stay out here just for a few minutes while I go in and see. I want to go in with fresh eyes. I don't want anything to influence what I see. If he did this, if someone did this to him, we will find out. I just need to go in with fresh eyes. So can you please stay out here for just a couple minutes while I see what's happening?
Okay, here's where your hard choice comes in.
Okay.
I can put you on a timer. And she's going to get impatient.
Uh-huh.
Or you can let her in there.
How long is the timer?
That timer is going to be... Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna give you a investigative mystery roll
Okay.
that you can make inside that room.
Right.
You get that. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be awesome.
Right.
But I'll give you 2 if she's in there. I'll just tell you that will potentially cloud what you find, though.
If she's in there, yeah. No, I assumed. No, I will stick with the. I just need to be in there alone for a few minutes, if only for the only reason, see if I can find the pearls really quick and sneak them. If for the only reason, but also because that is what I think a detective would do.
Okay. She stays in the hall. Charlie, what are you doing?
I go into the paper with 2 articles.
Okay.
One for the regular paper with a correlation of the missing fishermen and the increase in hospital patients recently. And then I also write a tabloid piece under a pseudonym about tentacles snatching boats in the harbor.
Oh, okay. So what are you attempting to do? Are you attempting to get the masses to do something? Are you attempting to protect someone? Are you attempting to? What's your vibe?
With the article about the missing fishermen and increase in hospitals, I guess it'd almost be trying to help the populace kind of, I guess, ease them a little bit, and knowing that, okay, we have some idea of where some of the fishermen are going. It's not just a complete and absolute disappearance. So it might cause a stir up at the hospital as well, but allow most of the populace to kind of relax and be a little less fearful of things.
And then with the tabloid?
The tabloid is to potentially stir up if there are any witnesses or stuff like that. Because let's be real, anytime somebody writes something in a tabloid, other people are going to be writing in going, I've seen that too. And so see if there's any potential eyewitnesses to this occurrence other than what we saw.
Okay, so you're going to either manipulate someone or help out. Your choice. Roll plus cool or roll plus charm. And I guess in this case, manipulate someone, you could technically do it with weird, right?
Yeah.
Because of what you're sort of working with. But it's your choice which of those 2 you'd like to do.
I think I'm going to do.
I'm not going to give you both, but
No. I'm gonna do manipulate, because I'm more so wanting to kind of get the
hospital to be...
Get the hospital on the way and also manipulate people into giving us information.
Yeah, I will say something that you're thinking about is that obviously the Dr. Hastings situation is going to result in a lot of stopping of what's going on in that context. So if you'd like to reconsider, you're welcome to. If you want the hospital to just be full of people complaining, then yeah, for sure, what you're about to do is going to work. I don't think you need a roll for that.
That's true.
That's where I'm like trying to figure out what exactly your goals are.
Yeah.
Because if your goal is just to stop it, it stopped. The guy stopped himself.
That's that's true. It's not necessarily. I guess it's more so to give the people the peace of mind of maybe like if they go up to the hospital, they find their missing husband or spouse. That was.
I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can go ahead and roll plus charm or plus weird depending on what you decide.
Okay. I guess it'll be more charm because it'll.
Okay.
The way you're describing it, it'll be more charm than it'll be manipulating.
Go ahead and roll plus charm.
And which one?
It's just roll plus charm.
Okay. You come on, please be something good. 9. Straight 9.
9. All right. So I will give you obviously a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. So that price to pay is that people are beginning to catch on, Mr. Stearns. Not too many journalists in this town, and a new pseudonym isn't tricking anybody.
Okay.
People know that you wrote that article.
Okay.
And your news director summons you in and he goes, Stearns, in here now. You enter the room.
Yeah.
And he says, been getting some complaints from high up, and they are pissed about what you've been writing.
Wouldn't happen to be Sinclair, would it?
Not sure. Some lovely young redhead dropped off some information and said that this is unacceptable behavior. Should you write another one, I'm going to have to let you go. letting you know that's your last warning.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds good. I'm glad we understand each other. Also, please write another one.
Been getting a lot of sales with these, huh?
It is working. We are glad to have you, and we'll be sad to lose you.
I'll be a little less conspicuous next time.
Good luck. And that is your 9. All right, Catherine. Take us home. What are you doing?
Going to Ruth.
You get to the house. Obviously, last night it was fine, and in the morning you see outside your room your butler stands there. Goes, ma'am, I helped her as I'm instructed to do. Yes, Mr. Elwood was very clear when he in his will what I was intended to do. Your Ruth is well, and you step over and you see this balcony, right? You sort of are in a bedroom over this balcony, right? And you look down and you see she is running frantically, not running, but like walking frantically around the room, and she has suitcases, large things. She's trying to move out before she's taken out. And you see as she is packing up as much as she can, and she says, where is he? And she looks up and she goes, go, I need your help to carry these to the car. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And he goes, yes, ma'am. And he walks down the stairs and sort of like curls around. And so you're sort of seeing this large spaces. There's now a lot of like cases and stuff. There is a lamp that used to be there that's not there. So she's taken everything that she can from this estate. What do you do?
Where do you plan on going?
I'm gonna go where they want me.
Oh boy.
Your grandmother shouts in her elegant gown that she probably shouldn't be wearing today. It's way over dressy, but she has no way to fit it in one of her cases, so she's wearing it out.
Can you sit down?
She's wearing the nicest jewelry that she owned.
Are there any black pearls in that jewelry?
Currently, she says, no, I'm leaving. And she goes, and she carries nothing and just walks out the door and then turns around and goes, why aren't you coming? And he's like, yes, ma'am. And he carries like 3 things that he shouldn't be trying to carry.
I'll do this to him.
Yes, thank you.
Because technically he is now mine.
Correct.
So
That's why he said, I'm just doing what I was told to do.
yeah, I know.
Yep.
Anyway, I follow Ruth outside.
She's like standing in the doorway and sees you coming down and just goes and just like closes the door.
So she's running outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to leave on my own terms.
I run out there and I say, I know that you know that I know.
And she is sitting in the grass. Wow. She like sort of fell. It looks like as you sort of get out the door, you're like, I know what you know. And she's like looking up at you, and she's like sad as like one of the heels is broken off, in the grass, and she's just sitting there. And she goes, you know what?
About the pearls.
Oh.
Her face demeanor changes completely, and she goes, you know what?
Well, you know, about the pearls. The lanterns.
What's your goal in this conversation, Catherine?
My goal is to see what side she's on.
Ooh, I like it. Do you want her on your side?
Yeah.
And let's roll to manipulate someone. Let's do it plus sharp. You get real clever and real choice with your words, and you're going to school for psychology. So you know a thing or two about a thing or two, and you're going to try to make her on your side. That's what's happening, because she's not on yours currently.
Yeah, I know. I figured. 11.
Woo! They'll do it for the reason you gave them. If you ask them too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it, or there's no way they'd do it. She says, I want to see my husband again. And I'm not going to do what poor Hastings did. So, Saturday is important to me. and I don't think you should stop it.
How are you going to see Grandpa again through that?
He's made a promise to those of us that wanted it, and I did.
Who?
Doesn't matter. It's not happening anyway.
What's the guy's name again? It's Zor.
Don't say the name.
Why? What, does something bad happen if I say the name? Oh, but I have the 3 pearls.
That's true, you do.
Zarak Thul.
Yeah.
Zurich Thul.
Yeah.
So I will say Zorak Thrul.
She goes catatonic and just lays in the grass.
I'm going to go grab the butler.
Is it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is she toddler pouting, or is she like medically?
No,
passes out.
she stiffens. Her limbs go tight, like her veins have hardened, and she just lays in the grass.
Yeah. Like she's too far gone.
I thought she jumped off the building.
No, she's in the grass outside.
No.
Yeah.
Initially, yeah, I
before
thought she
I
killed
was like,
herself.
When you said
Yeah.
the balcony.
That's why I was going. I was like, well, bummer.
I see you love your grandma.
Yeah, I said it too.
I go get the butler.
You head inside. What do you say?
Will you go and pick her up and bring her back in?
We'll pick up there next time. Oh yeah. What do the buttons do? I say that. Pick up there next time. Look at that. It's all there. So this mystery is thickening, stirring, getting porridgey and nasty as we stir up more drama. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Roll to One, and you're my favorite person. It's you. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. Goodbye.